And we're back. It's been a while. Somebody asked me to post something about my what I call centerline jig process. So we're going to speed ahead a little bit. Here's a neck blank right here. So the centerline jigs, you'll see why I call it that. We already got a routed out truss rod, or a specifically a channel for a carbon fiber rod that goes in here. If you'll notice, this does not sit in all the way. It sits in a little proud, and I do that by design. We've already cut the tenon on the adjustable neck angle tenon. Actually, it's a mortise and tenon cutting jig. Look up Robbie O'Brien. He has one. I sized one down for ukulele. Did a couple videos on that. The inserts are already in. I've already started shaping this neck, but we'll show you what process was done to get there. So this is the jig right here that gives me my outline. You'll notice I just have a piece of carbon fiber in there. We'll put this in. I'll bolt it up, and basically I can draw the outline of it, cut it on a bandsaw, rough cut, run it against a pattern following bit on the router table right around the edges. All right, go around and all the way around. I used to do this. I used to have a jig where I would flip up, but that was really, really dangerous. So I find this just nicer. You know, this is exactly the shape that I need. I just draw it out, and I just cut it by hand. I find it. I'm starting to do the necks more, a lot of more hand work on the necks now. Now, what happens after this? It's still square. I used to rough it out on the belt sander. I just started carving and doing a lot. This, for me, is the key right here. Piece of scrap wood, some 3/4 inch ply on the upright, and then all this is a mortise upright here with bolts inside. I'll just need a piece of carbon fiber that can go in here. Let's take this one off. This works. And all this does is sit in here, just like that. We'll take a couple of cap screws, which I use anyway, and I always lose them, so I got a couple holes that I normally keep them in. The cap screws in. Sorry guys, you get to sit through watching me screw in some cap screws, but you get the gist. So I've already started carving the feel area of the neck with the chisel. Fun stuff. I got away from using chisels for a bit, but I'm back using chisels again. And some tools over here. You guys can see the value of this. You know, once upon a time we used to clip this at the edge of the bench, and you run into all kinds of problems. With this, up a little bit. Spoke shave all the way around, all the way up. Doesn't hit anything. I'll clamp this bottom section to the bench, which I'll do right now. A little bit this way, so you guys can see that. You know, the rest of this, you'll know how this works already. What's nice is this doesn't move anywhere at all. All right, and it's being held by the tenon off of the neck right here, and it's solid. The carbon fiber that's sitting proud doesn't move at all. When you start going to town with your spoke shave, see, I got some stuff in there already. It just holds it really, really nice. And we're not going to do the whole neck. I'm going to finish it up. You don't get to watch me do the whole thing. A couple of tools that I started off with. You know, and I hand carved this with the chisel. Used a couple of different implements. I even took this one and went down the sides to really, really get a lot of the meat off. Believe it or not, this takes a lot of the meat off of the neck. Built myself a profile gauge for consistency. I got lines right over here. You can't really see them. There's a line here that'll line up for this one. There's a line here that'll line up for the middle. And there's a line right here on the end that'll line up for, obviously, by the headstock. All right, guys, that's about it. You can see what I do with the Centerline jig. So again, I can mark off. I got different headstocks that I do this with. Stays a little proud. One thing I didn't mention, and I'll just go ahead and take this off. One more thing. I shared this with one of my friends one year, and he's like, that doesn't make sense when you think about it, but if you're a builder, you understand what's about to happen with this. On the fretboard, because I used to do, and I haven't done a whole lot lately, I used to do a lot of inlays in here. So there are different ways to fix the fretboard. I discussed this in Sean's video on Ukulele Friend in the Luthier's Insights, but you'll see right here. I put a little channel in the back of the fretboard, and you can already figure out what's going to happen with that. When this fretboard goes on, the channel locks it in right there. So to glue it, it doesn't move except in one direction, this way. And it's very easy to control this movement when you're gluing down, especially when you glue it down against a headstock veneer that's going to pop up on this side. So it's the fretboard doesn't move. You know, the gluing is so much more solid. If any of you have ever glued fretboards before and had them move after they glue and you have to remove them, problem gone. Some of you may say this is a solution looking for a problem, but this solves so many different things that, you know, for builders, you get it. Anyway, guys, have a good one.